The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner, and filling in for the Byron Bagwell is Michael Heater. Great to have you along. Tonight's show is sponsored by the Mitchell Gunner Racing Team. Be sure to follow our favorite NHRA Division II Summit ET Sportsman racer as he tears up the tracks in the southeastern United States. Follow Mitchell on Facebook for the latest and greatest. Now, let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody joining us on the show and everybody that's here, please bow your heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for giving us this time to get together as a brotherhood to bring you On the Spot with David Rodgers, the show for everybody and our viewers to watch and see, and to take the information that we give, dear Lord, that it goes and touches and reaches each and every one of them. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most freest and most powerful country in the world today, dear Lord. Thank you again for letting us live here. Please keep your hand over us, dear Lord, as we're going through some trying times and tribulations, and that we can heal this great country and bring it back to its prominent status. Dear Lord, thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of them, dear Lord. They're out there protecting our freedoms, our rights, and also from domestic and international terrorism. Please, again, keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them home safely to their families. Thank you for our first responders, dear Lord, each and every one of them, not only here in our community, in our region, in our state, but each and every one of them all over the United States and all over the world, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them back home safely to their families as they're keeping us safe each and every day and each and every night. Thank you for our farmers and everybody that makes the world go around today, dear Lord, especially the United States, each and every one of them that work hard to do the will of the American people. Anybody with a spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them as you're the ultimate healer, the ultimate comforter, dear Lord. Please touch each and every one of them. Again, thank you for this great day. Thank you for this great week that we're about to have, dear Lord, and keep blessing each and every one of us. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, Amen. Amen. Let us stand, please, for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Mitchell Gunner if he'll lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Ben, welcome in On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner, alongside Michael Heater, filling in for the Byron Bagwell. Buddy, I'll tell you what, we've got a great show planned up tonight as we've got some great guests that we're going to get a chance to talk to. Something that's a first here in our community. And we've got three young ladies, Mitchell, that's going to bring it to us. And I tell you, it's an exciting time here in Bradford County dealing with all the sports that we've got going on right now. Got some information about the weightlifting team. Michael, did you hear about that today?
I did indeed.
Hey, how about that? Winning the district championship by 14 points. I think it's 75-61. Palatka came in second. So great thing there. And we're going to be talking about some volleyball here in about 30 minutes with these three ladies. And I will be introducing them here very shortly. But I've got a patriotic quote of the week. So, Mr. Byron Bagwell's not here. He usually handles those duties, but I am going to handle them tonight. Here we go. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Who said that, Mr. Michael Heater?
Wasn't the quote I was thinking of, but I'm going on a limb
Okay.
and say it was Martin Luther King.
Okay. Anybody else got a guess? You ladies have a guess?
Could you repeat that?
Yes, I can. Sure can. Absolutely. We are not makers of history, Dave. We are made by history. He says MLK Jr.
Wow.
Any?
I got a blank. How about JFK?
Okay, that's a good one.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I think it's Martin Luther King.
Do you really think it's Martin Luther King? Well, guess what? Y'all are exactly right. It is MLK that said that. He said that during his dream speech. And, of course, Martin Luther King celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day yesterday. So what a great man. What a great historian. You know, I just want to say a little bit about that before we go on. You know, here the last year and a half, y'all have seen history being destroyed all over the United States and all over the world. That's saying right there, we are not makers of history. We are made by history. What would Martin Luther King Jr. think of the things that are going on today? I don't think they would be happening, and I don't think he would like it one bit.
Right, because, you know, once you tear down history, you can't not look back on it.
No.
And that will contribute to making the same mistakes
And that's
more than once.
And that's exactly right. That's a great saying there, Mitchell. All right. Welcome in again, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready, because we have the 360 right after this commercial break. This is the 360. Your news and weather update is 360 degrees in just 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave Holland and Company at 904-964-3338. I tell you, open 7 days a week now. Open on Sundays, I believe, from 12 to 4. Is that right? 11 to 4 on Sundays. Hey, 7 days a week, Mitchell, we can go get our haircut. How about that?
I tell you what, I need it. The helmet might not fit this weekend.
Well, I tell you, may not. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. So the news begins in Gilchrist County, where a woman lost her home following a fire yesterday. Nobody was home in the fire that broke out near High Springs, but because the fire was in Gilchrist County, High Springs was not actually called, Mike. Fortunately, there were no injuries, but the home was a total loss. Up to Columbia County, where an inmate died in at the Columbia County Jail over the weekend. The 29-year-old inmate appears to have died from natural causes, and no foul play is suspected. But the matter remains under investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Over to Union County, where Governor Ron DeSantis announced that more than $3.5 million has been awarded to the city of Lake Butler to make critical improvements to the city's wastewater collection and pumping system. The funding is coming from the Florida Department of Economics Opportunities Rebuild Florida Mitigation General Infrastructure Program. Say that 4 times.
Exactly.
Which allows local governments to develop large-scale infrastructure projects to make communities more resilient to future disasters. Over to Putnam County, where hopes for a water taxi service along the St. Johns River appear to have collapsed when the Palatka City Commission shot down a public-private contract last week, but the plan might not be completely dead and buried yet, Mitchell. After years of negotiation, the city of Palatka and Palatka Boathouse Marina's agreement for the operation of water taxis had ebbed and flowed, just like the water levels along the St. Johns River. Another proposal is expected to go before the board next month. Can anybody tell me what is so specific about the St. Johns River? I know you can.
I know all that.
Say what?
The only river that flows north?
That is correct. It's one. There's another river too, and I'll get to that too. There is another river that flows north as well, but it's not here in the U.S.
No, it is not.
A big turnout by the Clay County officials yesterday for the MLK Day of Service held at Hunter Douglas Park on Longmire Road in Middleburg. The event was spearheaded by the Clay County Sheriff's Office and the Clay County Clerk of the Courts. Participants included Clay County Sheriff Michelle Cook, Clay County Commissioner Betsy Conant, Clay County Parks and Recreation, and over 50 volunteers from around the area. The team worked in removing trash, cleaning and refreshing park amenities, and beautifying those park grounds. All right, due to school closings and stay-at-home orders resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, children's increased online presence may put them at greater risk of child exploitation. Parents, guardians, caregivers, and teachers can take measures to help protect children from becoming victims of online child predators. A link to the new resource to fight human trafficking provided by the state of Florida is on our On the Spot with David Rodgers Facebook page. Gas prices in Florida are averaging about, guess what, Dave? $3.22 per gallon, about 3 cents up from last week, according to AAA. Gas prices are expected to keep rising after the price of crude oil shot up 6% last week. Thank you for that. I won't say. That's the latest news from around the region. Now, here's your weather forecast with the Dragon Slayer, fantastic Michael Heater.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
And good evening, everybody. A lot of weather news coming in. The biggest thing about that is a frost advisory that's been issued for this evening, going into tomorrow morning from 3 a.m. to about 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. Temperatures expected to be right around 33 degrees. Will result in heavy frost formation around the region. Those colder areas look for temperatures to hit right at the freezing mark. So if you park your vehicles outside like I do, you'll end up with a pretty thick amount of frost and ice on your windshield. Be ready for that. Prepare for it. Plan accordingly. Give yourself a few extra minutes as we move through the area. Let's talk about the pollen numbers, because those are actually going to be really jumping up for us over the next few days. The pollen numbers, as you can see on the scale, are going to go way up into the 6-digit area, looking at 6.5 to 6.8 before it starts to level off a little bit as we get in towards the weekend. So those of you that have pollen with pine, grasses, and other things like that, that's really going to have the effect on you, unfortunately. Talk about the into the regional forecast. You'll notice as we get into the regional map, Pascagoula, Mississippi, all the way up to Nashville, those areas will see clouds and some rain showers associated with another cold front that is going to impact us Sunday night. Pay attention to this one, folks, because if you thought last night was cold, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're looking at temperatures could be in the 20s for us Sunday night into Monday morning. Austin will have more on that as we make our way through the week. Locally for us, though, we're looking at pretty decent conditions, beautiful skies, but again, it's going to be chilly in the morning. A frost advisory, again, in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for the entire region. Look for temperatures to moderate, though, and to warm up into the 70s as we make our way through the week. Lows dropping off into the 40s and 50s before that front moves through this weekend, giving us some pretty brisk temperatures as we make our way towards the end of the weekend. That is the latest from Austin's Weather Service. Dave, we're throwing it back to you.
All right, appreciate it. Great weather. Hey,
Right.
You wanted to ask about probably this weekend, wasn't you?
Well, no, actually,
No.
I had heard a projected plan that they looked at the weather, that there was actually a possibility of snow and possibly sleet actually getting into the Lake City area and the Swanee Valley.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Mitchell brings up a great point. There is a chance of snow flurries. So for those of you, Anthony Black, Tallahassee, don't be surprised to see snow flurries and sleet, especially along the I-10 corridor going north. Now, Lake City on the edge there, south of I-10, I don't see that really happening. Obviously for Stark, Keystone Heights, Lake area of Gainesville, probably not going to happen. but I would not rule it out completely. Give it about an 8 to 10% chance of snow flurries from north, Lottie, headed up towards McClenny, Lake City area along I-10. It's a possibility you could see that happen this weekend.
Hey, Mike, one more question. I know we got a couple of viewers in North Carolina. I heard 2 to 3 inches, possibly Charlotte area, North Carolina area. There is that something you're saving?
2 to 3 inches per hour.
Wow.
It is looking at what's going to become a pretty significant snow event. As a matter of fact, several friends of mine are in North Carolina, and they're not leaving anytime soon because of the snow impacts and the storms that's been making its way through there. Right now, we're looking at decent snow conditions, which is great for snow skiers. The areas from Gatlinburg and those areas like that, the snow areas are really starting to improve there, but traffic is causing a significant issue. If you can avoid driving in the Carolinas in that area, stay out of that area until the snow starts to kind of let off a little bit. Honestly, if you're planning a trip north, I'd give it a few more days, probably later in next week, before the road conditions improve for those of us that are not used to driving in snow.
Right, and they've already urging people in North Carolina and parts of South Carolina to use four-wheel drives or chains if you don't have them.
Stay off the road. Yeah, stay at home. Thank you again for that wonderful weather report, Michael, and we'll bring that weather report back to you as we get to the end of the show. Now, here we go. Trivia on Wednesday nights held by Mr. Michael Heater over at Fun Point.
Right.
That starts at 7 sharp.
That's right.
7 sharp over at Fun Point. That is tomorrow night. Anything special tomorrow night?
Oh, we got some of the usual stuff like that. We interrupt this broadcast, one of our favorite categories. Won't tell you the year. You'll have to turn out for it like that, but it will be one of the major news stories of that particular year. Give you a little heads up. I'd also encourage you to bone up on little current events. You might just see this day in history referring to tomorrow's date historically, and some local and national news in the current events file. Just throwing that out there for you.
And you know what? I'm going to throw it right behind Michael because I already did my questions, and I can already tell you this day in history is already on there for Thursday night, which we have it at the Downtown Grill. Starts at 7:30 sharp. And also, I'm going to give you a trivia answer. And the only way that you can get it, Dave, is by watching this show. That is the only way that you can get this answer. How are you going to get this answer? Because I'm going to tell it to you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thursday night's trivia answer is cold. I wonder why. Maybe because it's cold around here.
Are you going to have a cold that day?
I may have a cold that day, but I guarantee you there's going to be at least 3 questions with that answer on it. It's going to be the easiest 9 or 11 points that you'll ever get at our trivia. Now, I know Michael does things a little bit different.
Yep.
Do you get some stuff where they can just, you give it to them sort of?
Well, let's just say that, we throw a couple easy ones out there. Basically, the big difference between us is that, you guys have a lot of intellectual questions, which is really good.
Right.
We play poker. Come on out Wednesday night.
Well, I think I'd rather play poker.
We do appetizer poker. Come out after each round. We'll let you draw a card. Winning poker hand wins a free appetizer, similar to what you do like that. And then, of course, we take the points values of the cards themselves, add it up, add that to your score as well. 2 weeks ago, and again last week, the winning scores between first, second, third place, 1 point, 99, 98, and 97.
Wow.
Very close.
That was very close games.
And, in fact, the team that finished in fourth place would have won had they not gotten the double dare wrong. We have the double dare category will bite you if you're not ready for it. In this case, it got them, took them to fourth place. So what would have been second place ended up winning the $25 discount for their meal.
And last Thursday night, I think we had a really close game too. Yeah. I think it was 2 to 3 points between 1 and 2, and in third place, I think it was like 8 points. So not too bad. So come on out Wednesday and Thursday nights for trivia if you're interested in playing. And now, everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history. Brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG, Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, my bosses on Friday nights during football season, and the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ron Tillman, Mark Crawford, and of course, Cliff Smelly, your buddy. Yep. Here's What's the Date? These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph in the first week Nuh-uh. During the third week of January. In what year? You thought I fooled you already, didn't you, Liz? Shots menacing Stark neighborhood. How about that? Lack of plan delays Stark internet decision. An adult gaming center saga continues at the city meeting. Sorry, Mitchell, they had to close down your establishment. Was that January of 2017, January of 2018, or January of 2019? Shots menacing Stark neighborhood. Lack of plan delays Stark internet decision. Adult gaming center. The saga continues at the city meeting. Was that January of 2017, January of 2018, or January of 2019? We're going to help you out just a little bit. I'll read the first one. Mike, you read the second one, and you read the third one there, big guy. Citizens express concerns over multiple occurrences of gunfire on the east side of Stark, prompting discussion between the city commission, the city attorney, and residents wanting to know what could be done about gunfire near Crum Street.
Absolutely. The Stark City Commission put off a vote on an internet an internet enterprise with Canopy Communications. Canopy's executives had previously presented their offer to set up a wireless broadband system that the city would turn around and run as an internet service provider for businesses and residents in and around Stark and potentially throughout Bradford County. Unfortunately, no one could say what the city's operational cost would be, even if they were to have the bills covered by the incoming revenue.
Lucas Games had asked to waive an additional penalty above a 90-day business suspension so it could reapply for its license, but the city clerk denied their request as the city continued to struggle with adult entertainment centers.
So Lucas Games was the name. You didn't want to put it under Gunner Games, did you?
It wasn't mine.
Shots menacing Stark neighborhood.
I don't play games.
Oh, you don't? No. Yeah, all right. I could go somewhere with that, but I'm not. Lack of plan delays Stark internet decision. Adult gaming center saga continues at the city meeting. Was that the third week of January of 2017, 2018, or 2019? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show. We're going to start checking our comments. This is where you, the viewer at home, can play. If you get it right, you get your name put into a hat for a drawing at the end of the month.
That's right.
And you are eligible to win, if we pull your name, a $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. Last week winner was who, Mike? Or last month's winner, because we did it last week, was who?
Yes.
Petiprin.
That's right.
Edward Petiprin.
That's right.
Edward Petiprin.
Mr. Model.
Mr. Model. That's right. And guess who the Bulldog winner was? Tony Black.
That's right.
Tony Black was the winner of that. Lives in Tallahassee, Florida. Don't know how he's going to use it, but we'll see what he says. All right, welcome in, everybody. Pepper Autistic, I sure will. She says, can you please announce LCCW's Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling Show that we are having on January 22nd at Calvary Missionary Baptist Church Life Center in Palatka? That's exactly right. Hey, mat time, bell time day, 4 o'clock. Great wrestling over there. If you're interested in professional wrestling, get over to Palatka and help Pepper Autistic out and LCCW Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling. I do believe that some of the proceeds, I don't know how much, go to autism because our son has autism. Mitchell has dealt with him many times on car shows and things like that. So, yes, absolutely. We'll mention it again before that date.
Are you wrestling in it?
Heck no, man. My wrestling days are done.
He's retired.
I'm retired, man. 60 years old, man. I can barely sit in this chair.
You don't want no one to slap you with a belt?
Yeah, no, heck no. Or
a chair?
No, man. If you go on YouTube, you can see me getting my tail whooped already.
I could probably obtain
You could
video.
obtain some video. We have a bunch of it, don't we? Maybe we ought to put some on there.
I'll see if I
Yeah,
can
we'll
find
see
it.
what
I'm
happens.
still waiting for that wrestling match with the sheriff's dog.
Oh, yeah, well, that one's still coming. Dwight Allen says, it runs backwards. Yeah, imagine. Jimmy Sparks from Lake City. Good evening, guys. Doing a great job. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hey, this show's about you guys. It ain't about us. It's about you guys. Bringing information to you. Bringing interviews to you. Making sure people are aware of what's going on. Just not in your community, but all around in the region, in the state, in the Southeast, and, of course, the United States. Anthony Black says hello. Miss Shirley Bagwell's on. Say hello to Miss Shirley Bagwell. Benny Jackson's on. Dwight Allen says, got to be on my best behavior so I don't go back to Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Last week, Mr. Dwight Allen, one of our great viewers, one of our brothers, one of our Patriot brothers, said a little comment, which I didn't think was bad at all, and he got put in Facebook jail. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Tracy Key O'Neill's watching. Thank you, Michael. I will send the snow to y'all. That's Anthony Black.
Hey, Tony.
We don't. Dwight Allen says we don't need any and don't want any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tony, we appreciate it, but your weather's already acting weird in our yard. We appreciate you just like
Yes, let it.
take
Yeah.
it back to you. That's fine.
Phil Jackson's watching. Ricky Autistic's clapping and says, "Man, love the show." Dwight Allen says 2019, Mike.
Oh, 2019.
Yep. Byron Bagwell says, "Hey, Byron Bagwell will be sitting here. Michael, of course, will be sitting there helping you guys out. But Byron is the other co-host. If you never watched the show, he is down with COVID." So we wish him well. So he says, good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants.
That would be me.
Yep. Randy Brooks says 18.
18.
Jackson says 18.
Okay.
Caleb says 18.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Alvy. Tammy Testone says 2018.
Okay.
Edwin Pettiprin, last month's winner, says 18.
Okay.
The model, Sharon Pettiprin, says 2018.
Okay.
Roger Cruz is watching. Kevin says David's wrestling days are over because oversee abuse of Big Kevin whooping that butt. Well, Kevin, guess what? Now you done called me out. Now we may be able to make something happen. Maybe I can get Pepper Autistic to sign a what? Hey, a bunkhouse match. Or how about this? Hey, how about a strap match?
Hey,
Me
right.
and Kevin Howe.
And you can hold it
Yeah.
at the stadium,
Yeah.
and y'all can wrestle right there on the 50-yard line.
There you go. How about that? Dave Holland Jr. is watching.
Oh,
I know.
Go Green Wave, he says.
There you go.
All right. Shirley Bagwell says 2018.
Okay.
Cheryl Sars says 2019.
Okay.
All right. We got a few guesses in. I'll go. Kevin Howe says anytime, anywhere. You don't want none of this, brother. Yeah. Oh, Byron Bagwell says, by the way, I meant to tell you, he says the reason he's not here is because he's fought this thing this whole time. And he says China Joe and his friends finally got him.
Knew they'd take him out eventually.
Knew they would. So they put him out for at least a week.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, here we go. Michael, can you take? No, never mind.
No, I can't.
All right. Kenya, give me a guess.
2018.
18, all right.
18.
that was pretty quick.
She took mine.
18, no, y'all can say the same thing. All right. Riley?
What was it? Wait, what?
Yeah, and we're being interviewing her like now. 17, 18, or 19?
Just guess. 18.
18. All right, Liz?
18.
David, Jr.?
I say 19.
You're going to say 19, all right. Dave Holland, Sr.
I'm going to say 17.
You're going to say 17. Mitchell?
I'm going with Dave Holland. I'm saying 17.
You're saying 17. All right, let me see if we got anybody here. Anthony Black says, I will ref that match. I imagine you will. You've cheated for him 54,000 times, so yeah, not a problem. I'm sure you will. All right, I'm going to say, Michael, something tells me that it's 18. I'm going with 2018 with the ladies over there. All right. Anybody else got any other guests? We got a lot of people on tonight. I'm sure they're watching to see our great interview. You want to change your mind?
I just got to. Where was the Lucas Games at? You tell me the location, I may change my mind. Was that the one that was located on 301?
I'm not telling you.
Or was it the one that's located up there off of State Road
100. I know that's what he was going to ask. Are you going to give it to him?
That's a no.
I'll stay with 17.
All right. All right. That's all the guesses, I guess, that we got. And the answer is, wait for it, drum roll. Give it to us.
Love it when I can nail them. Dave Holland Jr., you are the man.
Oh, look at there. January of 2019.
Yep.
Cheryl Starr and Dave Holland Jr., the only entrance. Oh, did we have one more?
We had one more.
Oh, Dwight Allen.
19,
Dwight Allen. Yep. 3 entrants.
I was going to say 19.
Well, we've had 3 of those.
Dave,
Yeah,
did
man.
it get, was that because everybody else was saying 18, or did you know something about that?
That's because I wanted to be the oddball.
Oh,
You just wanted to be godfather. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
All right.
This was the just for clarification, since I wrote it, I'll go ahead and give you a little background. This was an ongoing saga. Mitchell's absolutely correct. In 2017, there was an issue with Lucas Games. That was the initial. Then they filed for an appeal. Then it went into 2018, and it continued on. This was the catalyst and the straw that broke the camel's back that eventually led to the complete moratorium on adult gaming centers in the city of Stark. This came on the heels of several situations, including a shooting that occurred on in the city of Stark at one of them, that ultimately led to all of them being disbanded.
Okay, gotcha. All right, man. Well, hey, there you go. January 2019, 3 entrants for, that $25 gift card, Dave. And guess what? You could probably use it on a Thursday night if you win, if you come pay for trivia night along with your family like you have been.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right, Dad. See, now I got to get it. Okay, there you go. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
With our own local voice on current events, Mr. Mitchell Gunter.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Mitchell Gunter, and this is your scoop.
That's him.
If you're looking for a job, there is going to be a recruitment event happening at Walmart Wednesday, January the 18th at 10 a.m. Also, the Summit Racing Bracket Series returns back to Gainesville Raceway on January 22nd at Gainesville Raceway. Gates open at 9 a.m. Racing will start at 10 a.m. Tickets are $15 for adults. Children under 12 with a paying adult is free.
Nobody cares about anything other than, when do you race?
Yeah, we don't know the times of that yet, do we, brother?
No, we don't.
We don't know the times of that yet.
There's all kinds of things that can happen. Cars can break down. Cars can have oil downs and stuff all during the time run. So
But you're going to be there.
I'll be there.
Yep.
Yes.
Then that's worth going to. There you go. All right.
Kiwanis will be holding their poker tournament this Friday, January the 21st at 5:30 p.m. And this will take place at the Downtown Grill. So if you like playing poker,
$50 buy-in.
That's correct.
$50 buy-in, and you can buy in one more time after that. So you got 2 buy-ins right there. And of course, the Kiwanis, all the proceeds going to Kiwanis, like I said.
Might have to do that.
Can I borrow you $100?
Sure you can. Sure. Yep.
On January the 25th, Lodi Correctional Institution will be having a recruitment event as well. That will take place on January the 27th, FSP. So you have 2 of them. Lodi's on the 25th. FSP is on the 27th. T-Mobile will be having their grand opening on Friday, January 28th at 10 a.m., and that is for the ribbon cutting.
Now, that was delayed, correct? I believe it was originally scheduled and then it got postponed.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Postponed,
Okay, so
yes.
this is the new date for them.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
This is something that's been important, that's been going on for a few years. Tom Germano and myself have been working with FDOT, Bobby Payne's office, to try to do something with the intersection at SR 100 and County Road 21B.
Yes.
That is now starting to move along. They have installed the new caution lights that will be placed with some new signage. Right now they are covered up, but here in the near future, hopefully this week, they will start flashing, and this will tell people to please slow down because of that intersection. And I tell you, about a year or so ago, we actually got with our county commissioners and Jason Dodds and had the entrance and exit redone probably lost them before. This right here.
Okay, we're back up.
Okay, back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back up and running now. Hey, that's why we have the man himself, the guy that puts all this together, all those beautiful graphics, everything that you see that comes with this show is attributed to the man himself, Super Dave Holland. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Never gets a lot of, hey, he's always in the background. We try to get him on every once in a while, and I tell you, he does a great job making this show happen. As far as visually, Mike, I tell you, we got some of the best graphics anywhere.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. All right,
Well, I'm gonna
let's go and step back a minute.
We'll go back to
over.
T-Mobile
Yeah.
about having their grand opening and their river cutting that will take place on January 28th at 10 a.m. That store is located right there at Walmart.
Right.
Whataburger.
That's right. Where Shrek and Whataburger used to be. They totally redone the building, and it looks great compared to what it did look like before they started. Again, we'll get back in this with DOT and Bobby Payne, with Tom Germano and myself. We were able to work over the past few years at the intersection of State Road 100 and County Road 21B. FDOT has now installed caution lights before that intersection to give drivers warning that is a bad intersection. In the past, we had Jason Dodds and the county commissioners. We talked to them and had the entrance and exit redone for the collection site, and that actually helped a lot. I believe we only had one accident since that has been done. And hopefully with these caution lights, Michael, I hope motorists will actually start slowing down through there.
Sure.
And, you know, like we were talking about, which our audio went off, but, you know, that intersection is going to have some more changes coming in the near future. Right. There's going to be a gas station that will be going on the other side of 21B across from the Florida Cracker. Right. So there is more congestion that's going to be happening there, and hopefully eventually FDOT will see the congestion and actually will force them to go ahead and put a traffic signal there and actually put a turning lane for those who are going to the collection site.
I know that this project, Mitchell, has been ongoing. I know since you've been on our show, you and Tom has been working on this at least 3 or 4 years, right? For sure. And it's taken them this long, and they never gave up. They kept doing it, kept fighting it, and now we've got something cooking right over there on Troy.
And there's, like I said, there's a lot of other people to thank, you know, our county commissioners, Jason Dodds, Representative Bobby Payne, you know, and we appreciate them listening to us.
Absolutely.
And providing that safety net, you know, and hopefully it will get better. Hopefully we won't have to worry about no accidents in that intersection. Also, I am working with Senator Bradley's office of trying to get the traffic signals redone at the intersections of the bypass, have them reprogrammed so the light is longer to keep those accidents from happening of people running a red light. Right now, the delay between red and the other lanes going green is 2 seconds. I'm asking them to push that out to 5. And Michael, you know, had a good suggestion about even making the caution light, the yellow, a little bit longer as well. Because, you know, we did get the speed limit dropped there. Talking with Bobby Payne, we were able to get it lowered to 55. I wanted it 45. And we're still having a lot of problems. And a lot of it is tractor trailers. They cannot get slowed down, even though way back it tells them 60 miles an hour, 55. They're still trying to blow through that light to try to catch it, or they're just moving so fast that they can't get their trailer slowed down because of the weight factor that's in place. But we'll keep you up on those updates as they go on. Something that really neat that happened today and yesterday here in Stark was one of the 24-hour Rolex teams. AWA Racing rolled into Bradford County to prepare for the race that will take place on January the 29th through the 30th. The team will be racing the LMP3 prototype class. This vehicle is powered by a 460 horsepower, 5.7 liter V8 by Nissan. It's a Nissan power plant.
Right.
And I tell you, you take the weight ratio compared to the horsepower ratio, no cars
For
are
a
flying.
powerful car, yeah.
The car probably weighs no more than 1,600 pounds with the driver sitting in it. I mean, it's pretty much just a chassis with carbon fiber wrapped
How
around
do you
it.
keep it on the road?
I tell you, well, they
Very
actually
carefully.
run pretty wide tires on those.
Yeah.
They have a lot of front spoolage in the front. They run a real high spooler in the back to help keep those vehicles planted to the ground. And I tell you what, I was out there; it was wild. And if you go to our Facebook page, you can read more on it. But the reason why they were out there was not just for setups for the car, but setups for the drivers, because there's 4 different drivers that run that car at the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. And so every time that a driver changes in the seat, they have to change the seat position, the pedals position, the seat belts, and the mirrors for each one of those drivers. So they document where everything has to be set on those set points. So when they come in there in the pits, the driver gets out, the crew goes in there, they reset everything up for the other driver to jump in. And I tell you, if you never watched the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona or Sebring, it is quite something to watch.
I didn't watch the whole 24 hours.
You fell asleep for 18 of it, didn't you?
You didn't drink enough of coffee.
Yeah, no, he
watched
slept for
it
18 of
and
it.
Another thing, if your kids are interested in playing baseball or softball in Bradford County sports, online sign-ups are going on right now. You have to January the 29th to complete the forms, and you can go to Bradford Sports Online or something like that.
Something like that,
.com,
yeah.
.com, and you can fill out those forms for your kids. The City of Stark was having their commissioner meeting tonight. That meeting started at 5:30 p.m.
Speaking of that,
Do you have
we
any
may
updates?
and I may have something too. You know, we got some elections coming up.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to say.
They're off.
But I was going to say.
They're off still a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you're right. But eventually it's coming. And somebody that I know personally may be running for one of those seats. Somebody I know personally. I can't say who just yet because it hasn't been made official.
Well, I'll help everybody out. It's not me. I live in the county.
Yeah, and it's not me because I live in the county.
Darn.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's Dave.
knows?
Who knows? But anyway, go ahead, fill it.
But I can tell you that the City Commission did meet tonight. Several things that were on the agenda included a redistricting plan for the City of Stark. That's an ongoing discussion that they have. Also, Lieutenant Bradley Witt with the County Emergency Management Division as the director spoke to the County Commission, or excuse me, the City Commission about having the local mitigation strategy program approved by the city. They are one of the partners in a countywide project that in turn partners with the state to work on mitigation projects that allows us to work on flood mitigation,
Right.
wildfire mitigation, other try to help minimize and reduce the impact from natural and man-made disasters. That was on the agenda as well. As I understand it, they should have wrapped up by now, and we'll probably have a full recap on that one coming up on our next show.
Good.
Michael, have you heard anything about the new sewage treatment plant that they plan on building on the north end of Stark?
They are. That's still under plans. The engineering review was supposed to happen. I believe it was scheduled for next commission meeting. That I'm not sure of. I'll have to check with my contact. Hi, honey.
So it's probably still in with A&E services right
The
now.
last we heard, it is, yes.
Okay.
So there's and the plan is for that to move forward. There's also been some discussion about annexations. Of course, we covered that last week on there with the Holiday Inn Express and a few other things that's been happening as well. The building and zoning for the city has putting together a plan on that one, and that will also come under review over the next few months.
All right, well, I appreciate it, Michael. To go ahead and let everybody know, the next Bradford County Commissioner meeting will take place on this Thursday at 6 p.m. There will be approvals of consent agenda items. Those are dealing with TDC funding for upcoming events like the Strawberry Festival, the Bradford County Fair Association, and others.
Speaking of fair.
And what these funds are for is for promotional and marketing to take place to draw people from outside of Bradford County to come here to our county and to our city to take place in those events. Other items and reports is actually for the fiscal year of 2021 and 2022 expenditures. Those departments would be UF-IFAS, the Building Department, Community Development, Fire Rescue Department, and the Library. Also on the agenda, there will be a few items from Planning and Zoning where people are moving their land from agriculture to commercial, or from commercial to residential. So a lot of that's going on. And actually, if you ever want to see what's on the agenda, you can look up underneath your Bradford County Commissioners meeting. You can type that in. It'll pop up, and you can go to the agendas. They'll be by date. And you can click on them and download them to your computer and read what's going on and what's happening in your county.
Great deal.
Speaking of, real quick, since you mentioned the fair, hey, heads up, folks, don't forget that the Bradford County Fair kicks off the second week of March. Setup for the fair begins on Saturday, March the 5th. Those of you that are vendors or putting in booths and you would like to get in on the competition that the fair has for the best booth, I am excited to announce that every one of you can search for second place, because the Bradford Sheriff's Office is going to try to take first place again. Moving on.
Actually,
Okay.
David, we actually need to sit down and talk and see if we actually want a booth.
Well, and you know what? I was just getting ready to say, I know there was some logistical issues last year, us trying to do it out there. We remember we sort of tried to do it outside there, and that just cold, and it just didn't work out very well. But this year, I guarantee if we get us a booth, we'll be able to do the show from there. That's for sure, because we're going to be a paid vendor by then. So, yeah, we're probably going to try to get there so we can do the show from out there. It's really a fun time out there whenever we do the show out there.
The theme for this year's fair is a field of dreams.
A field of dreams.
Giving you a little bit of a heads up as to what the theme will be for this coming fair. Again, that's going to be the second week of March. Of course, the Strawberry Festival kicking in April.
Yep.
Right.
And then what I'm excited about is you've got a couple of big car shows lined up, don't you?
Well, actually, one of them I'm still working on. We're not actually going to be able to use that venue, so we're searching for another one. And that is
Funny you should say that.
That is for
because we are still putting together a fantastic opportunity for a car show that I'm hoping that we can work with you on, as there will be a free outdoor concert scheduled for Saturday, April 9th in the downtown square in Stark. Majesty of Rock, a group that is a cover band for Styx, Toto, and Journey, will be performing a live free concert at the square. We want to encourage others to come out for this one, so perhaps a car show would be great to bring people in. That concert, again, will be scheduled for around 7 o'clock on Saturday, April 9th. Majesty of Rock coming into Stark. They have a huge following around the southeast United States. They're based in Fort Myers and Cape Coral. Do a tremendous job. They are an amazing band.
And I'll tell you, anything dealing with anything that these guys just talked about or we talked about will also be on our Facebook page.
Correct.
So you can follow it on our Facebook page. We'll have all those updates and upcoming events. Matter of fact, Mitchell Gunner and I have been talking. I haven't had a chance to mention it to you, Dave and Byron. I think we're going to make an event calendar. Michael, I'd like for you to work on that. Okay. An event calendar where not only do we have our show dates on there and possible guests, but possible upcoming events. People were saying sometimes our page is not user friendly because they have to read down through the thing. But if we create an events page or an events column,
we can actually create events pages.
They can just go and go, like Mike was saying, the Majesty of Rock. Oh yeah, that's April the 9th. Yes. You know what I mean? Instead of having to read down through all that fine print, and we will work on that for sure.
Yep, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, that one car show that I'm trying to work on is actually for a young lady that has stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
And we were trying to schedule somewhere around March the 19th. Now we've got to refigure out the date and a venue to have it. So I'll be in
Perhaps.
contact with you, Michael, on that.
We'll make that happen.
And of course, the Strawberry Festival, we'll have a car show
For sure there.
with that on that Saturday.
April 2nd, yep.
And I'll tell you what, I'm already moving on it and fixing to start having awards made. So
Yeah.
we're moving right along. Another thing I want to talk about is as part of the FDOT's Stark Railroad Overpass interchange improvements, the Cherry Street crossover will be closed for the bridge overpass foundation work from now through late February.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's loud downtown, but it is
Downtown.
really starting to come together as well.
Yeah.
And also start Keystone Shriners Club and Keystone Shriners, well, you got that
Keystone
in
Shrine
there.
Club.
Yeah.
Keystone Shrine Club.
Separate one.
Will be hosting their monthly dance this Thursday, the 20th. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the music starts at 7. The cost is $10 a person, and the band performing is Dakota.
Yeah.
So come and enjoy a good time. And I tell you what, $10
$10
to get in to go
To
dancing.
go dancing?
Hey.
Absolutely. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you've already
Mitchell, great segment tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all are still hanging in there. Don't go anywhere, because right here in just a few minutes, we've got a special interview with 3 beautiful young ladies that's going to be coming up. And the subject we're going to be talking about, Mitchell, is volleyball. How about that? Huh?
Well,
Can you know how to play volleyball?
Well, when you first mentioned it,
Yeah.
I didn't know if I needed to come down here in shorts or wear pants, because I actually thought we were playing against them in volleyball.
Well, that was it, but then I had to cancel that because you wanted to wear your boxers to play in, and I wasn't going to
we
allow
can't
that
do
to happen.
Yeah. We'll get
So
canceled.
yeah, so as and we're not wrapping up. We're just wrapping up the 7th day.
Right.
Let us come back with that special interview right after this commercial break.
Schuster and Sabin is the leading firm in Florida with 8 offices from the Panhandle to the Florida Keys to handle your claims for personal injury, workplace violations, and PIP claims for medical professionals. Visit us online at www.piplaw.com or call 24 hours a day at 877-511-7829. Schuster and Sabin Law Offices.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, right alongside Michael Heater, filling in for the Byron Bagwell. You just heard Mitchell Gunner, the racer himself, give you the local news. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to bring 3 beautiful young ladies into our camera view. They are Jamie Seegers, Kenya Arnett, and Riley Holland. And why do I have these beautiful young ladies on? Because they are a part of something new that is happening here in Bradford County. As you know, Mitchell, Michael, and Dave, that we have girls volleyball during the fall's time, and well, actually, the beginning of school year into the fall time, we have girls volleyball at the high school, and now these ladies have taken it a step further and have actually created a travel volleyball team. 2 of them, by the way. We've got a varsity, a big wave, as we call it, and a little wave. This, ladies and gentlemen, in the center is Coach Jamie Seegers, head coach, Kenya Arnett, assistant coach, and one of our players, Riley Holland, granddaughter of Dave Holland here. Say hello, Riley. Yeah, she's just waving there. Anyway, they are part of the Green Wave. And ladies, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I know Mitchell got a little carried away with his local there, but we had a lot of local stuff. But y'all were sitting there, so we should have just turned the camera to you. Y'all had smiling faces on. Y'all were all right. I can tell you that right now. Jamie, let me start with you.
Sure.
Tell everybody, I like to get everybody comfortable with who they're speaking with. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do besides coaching. Did you go to school here at Bradford County?
I went to school here for 1 year in 8th grade.
Okay.
Moved around a little bit, made my way back. Now I teach 7th grade math at Bradford Middle School.
All
That
right.
is my first primary job, and then volleyball came along. Got the position at the middle school and decided to take it a little further, and that's why we're here, I'm guessing.
Yes, and that's exactly right. Kenya, a little bit about yourself, and I know you went to school here, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What year did you graduate in?
2012.
2012. I knew you was right behind my daughter, Kristen. She graduated here in 2008. And then Autumn, of course, graduated in 2015. So did you play sports?
Yes.
What'd you play?
All of them.
All of them. You played
Volleyball,
softball?
basketball, softball.
So how about you, Jamie?
I did. I played volleyball, only volleyball. I did
Okay.
travel ball, and then I had the privilege of playing in college. So
Gotcha.
that was
Where'd you
fun.
play at? What school?
Walter State Community College in Tennessee.
Okay, great. What'd you get your, I'm assuming education is your degree?
It is. It is my degree.
Okay.
I started there and then transferred here.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And that's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking a little bit about a new thing that, and I want to ask how it started, that these ladies have created. We've got a travel volleyball team now, Mitchell, that can actually take from the fall. Now we can take it a step further and travel around to different cities and towns and play different club teams, right, Jamie? Am I
Right.
correct on that?
Absolutely.
So how did this start with you guys? How did this all come about?
Well, we were approached at a Lake Butler volleyball game by Miss Tiffany. She had been doing club for a little bit over there just for Lake Butler. And she'd mentioned that it would be really, really cool to be able to venture out and maybe invite Bradford County, Clay County, surrounding areas to put a team in. It's a very inexpensive club ball compared to the rest. You know, you have one in Gainesville. It's a travel too, you know, so not many people can make it over there. Jacksonville as well. It's a very, you know, it's a little bit of a journey there. So she brought it to our attention, and I thought it was excellent for our girls because we have a lot of talent here, a lot of talent that we're really excited to start and get deeper in there. So.
Right, and that is not only going to help, of course, your travel team that you're putting together. It's going to help the high school as they come into next season. A lot of these girls underclassmen, so you know all these girls that are returning. It's just going to make them better volleyball players for the high school as well, and maybe get into some regional, maybe some state stuff if we can get them good enough, right, Jamie?
Absolutely.
I know y'all went to Tallahassee this week,
Right.
and I was following that a little bit, talked to Dave over the weekend a little bit, and for the first game, y'all did really well. You want to tell us how you did over there? And that was over in Tallahassee, a couple hours from here. Tell us what you did over there.
We did a lot of good stuff. We really did. At first, you know, a lot of these girls really haven't experienced a tournament-like setting. So for them to get in there and find themselves individually was a struggle at first. But once they figured out how to be comfortable in their own skin, they really came together as a team and pulled through. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch, really. We had undefeated for our little wave. They came out on top. And our big wave, we did come down short with one, but we came in second. The rest, we did really well.
And, you know, I told Dave Holland Sr. that he was talking to his son and, of course, Liz, Raleigh's mom, and they told me what they did. I said, hey, tell them ladies to grab them trophies up and come on to the house. We don't care. We'll take first and second, and we'll bring it right back here to Bradford County. I don't care what anybody says. I got a quick question here from one of our viewers. It says, where did the name come about, Jamie, the Green Wave?
Interesting. Oh man, that's fun. We went from Hulk to I don't even know what else. It was real rough.
And down
at
to
first.
almost changing our color.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to make sure it was mutual because we don't just have Bradford County girls. We have Clay County girls. We have Union County girls. We have Keystone, which is Clay County, Keystone, and we wanted to make it not have any of those colors. We wanted to make sure that we brought a whole new color into it. It wasn't associated with anybody, so nobody felt uncomfortable. It was a whole new start to everything, and inviting to other counties around us. Yeah. So we came up with green, and we're like, well,
Green,
We're gonna
okay.
do green. So when we were thinking about
better than the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, Brandon Brussels sprouts, yeah.
we're not going to get into the different names that we were throwing around there. But Green Wave just came about. I don't know. I don't know where it came from, to be honest with you.
Was it just something said in practice one day, or just something that just came?
yeah.
Just.
One of the girls said
You're
it,
trying
and
to
just
green.
kinda-
What goes with green? Oh wait, did it just come about sort of
It's
like
it.
that?
We were in a circle and we were breaking down our practice, and
It was
we were
after
just
every
throwing names out.
practice.
It was great. So Green Wave, we just stuck with Green Wave.
A couple of comments from our viewers. Do you know Tracy K. O'Neill?
I do.
Do
Yes.
you?
Hey.
Hey, she's on.
That's my
She
aunt.
watches. She watches us quite a bit.
Nice.
She says that you are very knowledgeable and that you will take them a long way. These ladies. So.
Love you.
Let me get to Riley. Riley, first tournament off from school with the Green Wave. We heard you place first and second. What is your position on the team? And how did you personally do this weekend? I know it's a team sport, and I know Coach Jamie and Coach Kenya preach team, but what did you do individually to help the team as well?
So I play as a setter, which the only way I really know how to explain it is like I set up a lot of attacks, but
Right.
it depends on, my plays depend on the person behind me, and then my play depends on, or like the person after me, their play depends on mine. So
Right.
for my first
You
tournament-
actually make the play happen. Sort of.
I mean,
It's like the-
and
it's
the ball
like-
can get up, yeah.
It's like the quarterback,
Right,
You gotta,
right,
you're depending on the snap, and then you got to figure out if they're open. It's a lot of decisions to be made. So
I got you.
In other words, you position the ball for
For the attack,
them to,
yeah.
to attack it at the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is actually kind of my first time playing this position, but I think that I did pretty good, but I still have a long way to go. And especially for my first tournament, I think that we all worked together with what we had, and we still pulled it through to take our place that we should.
53 assists, is that what I hear? Is that sort of about right? Is that a number about right? Wow. All right. Michael, you got a question for any of these young ladies?
No, my question, it's pretty simple, is that obviously you're playing, and this kind of blends in with the regular high school schedules. Are you finding that a lot of the plays that you're doing here is going to actually benefit the students in their high school playing? And do you have any type of potential conflict? In other words, you come together as a team as the Green Wave, but do you find that kind of leads to a little bit of a rivalry when you start bringing the other teams into it from the high schools?
truthfully, no.
Nice.
I am a big believer in community and knowing people. I think honestly it'll pull out more of their potential because they'll feel comfortable playing with these girls. So they may not be on the same team or the same side of the court, for better words or to find better words.
Right.
But when they look across the court and they see these familiar faces, they become comfortable with themselves and they can pull out all these things that they don't even know they have potential or things that they know what to do with.
It definitely showed this weekend that they became a family.
And I was just going to say that first and second place, first time on the road, by the way. This was not even a home meet. This was on the road. And to bring back first and second place, that shows me a little, that shows me character of you two ladies, first of all, as coaching them. And it shows me the maturity and of the young ladies that are playing for you as well. So, very good. Again, ladies and gentlemen, just now joining us, we've got Jamie Seegers, head coach of the Green Wave, Kenya Arnett, assistant head coach, and we've got Raleigh Holland, one of the players for the Big Wave, the Big Green Wave, if we should say. Joining us, please stick around. Byron. Hey, Byron. Hey, Byron.
I'm better looking.
You're better looking than Byron. All right, Mitchell, go ahead.
What is the farthest show we're going to travel to play?
Beautiful question. Right now we are in the club itself. So we have certain tournaments that come with the tuition, the fees. The furthest one is Macon right now.
Wow,
it's
nice.
a 2-day tournament. But that doesn't mean that we're restricted to just these tournaments. So we can fundraise or we can do whatever we need to do to get the bigger ones. So Orlando, for example, even further south we could go. There's a Disney Classic. Those are really fun. I know there's tournaments in Jacksonville we're trying to get our hands on, so we don't have to travel so far. But it adds on to the tournaments that we already have. The more the better, to be honest. Right now we have about two tournaments a month that we're traveling to, and I want to average about 4 if we can.
Right.
I know it's a lot on the girls, but it's
The more
really-
reps, the better they're
Yes.
going to get.
So
I
you
want
want
them
to
to get
average
the-
one once a week and once a weekend
Right,
if you
yeah,
can.
right.
For how long? Couple of months, 3 months, as long as you can go.
It's until the end of April.
Okay.
My hands are in the pot right now to see if we can extend or see if there's any other opportunities, especially for the even younger girls. I know like 12U and 13U
Right.
at the middle school, because it really does, the foundation starts around that time. And I think that's important for the future athletes.
All right. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, so now that begs the question to me is, what does it take? I mean, obviously you travel to all these different locations, and that's fantastic, and I think that really builds a lot. But ultimately, wouldn't it be kind of interesting for Green Wave and the community to host one of these tournaments? And if someone wanted to sponsor that or people wanted to come out and support you, what would be a good way for them to learn more information about that?
That is actually a really good idea. I love that idea. It would have to take obviously a location that could host quite a bit of teams to come around. There is, I know of, another local team that does the same PSVA by Tiffany, who we talked about earlier. She has her own team who's about, I think, a 14U as well. So I'm sure it would be possible. It would be something to definitely look into. I think it would be really cool to draw attention to this community. It has a lot to offer, so.
What about as far as, I'm sorry, Mitchell, what as far as, I know you fundraise and do things like that. What if one of our businesses, local business, wants to sponsor one of those tournaments? And this is a great avenue to get yourself out there. So I'm gonna give you time to do that. How can they get a hold of you? And you probably don't want to say a cost here. I don't know if you do it, if you don't. But that could be something that you could get with some of our local business with. How do they get a hold of you and maybe set up an arrangement like that?
Yeah.
Well, I could definitely give you email. You can email me. That's the fastest and quickest way. It would be the school email, so it comes straight to my, everything is censored. Everything is beautiful there. So I can either put it in the comments or or maybe have you post it somewhere for me. That would
How
be
about
amazing.
On the Spot with David Rodgers page? We can do that for you.
Beautiful. Let's do that.
We can do
Perfect. We can even do sponsors. I know I haven't really put this out there, but we can do your logo on our jerseys or our warm jackets. All the girls have one of these. They have 2 individual jerseys, so we have plenty of room for if you want to sponsor and have us, sport
Maybe
your.
we could sponsor.
That's
Yes,
what I was
there you
thinking. And
go.
I was thinking the same thing there. That's why I was asking her, how much it is. If it's over $5, Dave, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Do we need a little more than that? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
I will cut more hair for this.
Yeah, we will get more here for that. Let me just read a couple of the comments here. Of course, you talked about where the name come about. That was pretty funny. Jamie will take them all the way with her knowledge. Good luck, ladies, from Cheryl Starr. Those girls are in great hands with Coach Jamie and Kenya. I'd want my daughter to play for them when she gets to be the eligible age. So you're having a lot of positive comments. Mrs. Bagwell, which is Byron's mother, when Byron sits in, says she's excited for all of you and wishes you all nothing but the best.
Thank you.
And Tracy says something that I don't know if Mitchell was going to ask, but I was going to ask. You said you played college ball.
I did.
So she says she can bring the college scholarships for our local girls through this as well. Okay. Is that something that you've thought about possibly as well? Anything else?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I feel like when I played ball, travel ball was where I was recruited, I would say.
Right.
So all my stats, everything came from there personally. So travel ball really is something that could benefit these girls for volleyball scholarships, going that route. As far as making videos, I have a player on my team who we discussed a little bit about making highlight videos. We haven't gotten too far into that quite yet because I still want to work with her a little bit before we create this video, but
Right.
I am all for that. All for that. I feel like if that's what your dream is and I can help you in any way, that's what I want to do.
All right, a couple of more questions. Mitchell, and I'll give one to Michael, and then we'll wrap it up here. Dave, do you have one? Dave, the grandfather of Miss Riley here. You got something?
Speaking of videos, I've obtained some of that video. I was wondering if maybe we could play that.
Dave,
Kinda
please do.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
us some direction on that.
I mean, I'll do my best. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, we definitely.
okay, here we go. Bam. Go ahead.
All right. So, when they go up, here goes Riley falling on the floor. No. We have quite a few setups here. So, obviously, the whole object of it is to control the ball with a bump, a set, and a spike. As she goes up, we obviously want to double block, so we can try to grab. Here she goes again on the floor. We can try to grab, any kind of offensive plays. So here you saw her. She came down with a roll shot. It's a pretty good rally going on here. I believe we get this one. One of these blocks. She touches the ball as a block. We have number 3 in the front up there. Her name is Ajaya. If I don't say your name, they're all very awesome. Do not get me wrong. Ajaya had quite a few blocks. She is a very big wall for the best terms you can say if you're a blocker. Here goes Riley with her sets, and then Reagan, she's up, and she does a beautiful tip. Beautiful. They are absolutely fantastic players. I believe Ajaya blocks here, possibly. Riley, number 18, she's in the back. She's our defensive. They're beautiful block there. She's in the back. I think she's off the court now. She is a DS, so a defensive player. And there goes Riley with the block. Beautiful. Reagan, I wish I could say all the names. JD's on there.
Right.
Kenzie's
Riley.
there. Riley, another Riley.
Some of these girls, Jamie, definitely play on the volleyball team at different schools, right? Not only our school, or is it mainly our school?
Right. Well, it's all
There's
schools.
all-
We
Yeah.
have one from Hope also.
Wow,
Hope,
nice.
So
I
she
know-
came along.
I noticed there's a lot of slang in this. The block, the other.
The set, the spike, yeah,
spike.
the kill.
The
Right,
drop.
the kill, the yes, the tip kills, yes.
The mighty bow.
I mean, volleyball, honestly, unless you live in a place where, really supports volleyball, it's not known, and people are like, oh, it's just volleyball, and kind of get a little defensive about it, but that's just me. But it is a beautiful sport, it really is, and if you ever get a chance to really watch and see a competitive play and understand it, it really is amazing to watch.
It's very addicting.
Addicting.
Yes.
Not too.
Mitchell?
Well, I think y'all are doing a great job, not actually getting these girls to get reps and stuff to prepare them to be better in high school and chances at scholarships, but also keeping them out of trouble and giving them something to do. Because, these rural counties, there's really not too much for any of these kids to do. And for them having something like this to drop back on at the end of their regular volleyball season, playing in high school is really great. So.
We
I don't want to
appreciate
gain some
that.
weight off season. I got to keep on doing this just so you
Yeah,
know.
Those 3-hour conditioning days on Sunday.
3 hours.
Michael, a final question for
Oh, I
this
got
lady. Oh, you got one? Okay, go ahead.
Just
Okay.
one real quick. Have y'all, since you have a large number of teams, have y'all actually tried to speak with them over at University of Florida and see if y'all could use the inside of the Econo Center?
That would be amazing.
We have not tried
We have
that.
not tried that. We would love that. That would be so incredible. We did, the closest we went to even that is I did invite the girls to watch them play against a couple of teams for their championship games, and it was a lot of fun. The girls saw a lot, and honestly, I think, Riley, I saw you using some of those single-handed sets that we learned from that game. So we really do see a lot of change when it comes to that. I think the girls would be ecstatic if we could do that. That would be.
And I think if y'all make contact with the coaches over there, I think they'll be more than willing to.
Just got to
do
work
that.
around basketball season. You still
Right.
got women and
Oh,
women's
yeah.
basketball
Oh, yeah. We're used
season
to that.
going
We're
right
used to
there. Yeah,
basketball
used to
season.
that. I was just going to say. Michael, you got one last question?
One last question for you. Obviously, with your enthusiasm is contagious. You're going to get a lot of people that want to follow you and keep up with you, and to track what's going on. What's the easiest way for the public to see your record, see your stats, and to follow you and to keep up with as you progress through the season?
Beautiful question. I was thinking about it today when I was looking over our first tournament and our stats and seeing what the girls did individually. And I thought about maybe creating a Facebook page to follow. It was just a thought that just happened today, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But that's on the to-do list. I think that would probably be the best way.
Cool.
I think it would be. So look out for that. Maybe I can give you the link
Absolutely.
for it and you can post it.
Please do. Any information that you can give us, we're all, I just like to call ourselves a big family here. You let us know, we'll post it for you.
Yeah, and I'll even share it to my personal page.
We'll
as well.
share it to our
Perfect.
personal
Yes.
pages.
Yeah, all of
And
it.
see it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. In fact, not just for the team, but for anyone like that one, if you have information that you'd like to get out to the community about what you're doing, whether it's the green wave or the purple dinosaurs or anything like that at all, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. On the spot, 32091@gmail.com.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I said
On
the spot, 32091@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll be happy to include that, whether it be as part of the local segment with Mitchell or the sports wrap with David or anything like that. We'd love to hear from you as well.
Tracy K. O'Neill says her knowledge of volleyball comes from a young age. And I was going to ask you when you started playing, because obviously you're well versified in volleyball. So I'm assuming you started off as a little girl and worked your way up.
Yes, I did. I started in 6th grade. I was able to go to Europe for about 7 months with my father, and I played there, and I learned a lot there. So when I came back and went to school here in 8th grade, I was able to bring some information and things like that, but also learn from a really awesome coach as well. Coach Best, Coach Varanak, they were the ones that were there.
I know both of those gentlemen.
Love
Very
them.
nice
Love
guys.
them.
Yeah.
Yes. I see Coach Best all the time in Union County.
And Mr. Varanak still likes Journey, doesn't he? Don't Stop Believing?
I'm not sure.
He definitely likes that. I already know he likes that.
That's all right, though. So I did start in 6th grade, and I have not stopped. So I really encourage girls to, at least try it, because the sooner you start, the better chance you have. Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten involved earlier. This is my first year.
But, and that is a great question that Riley brings up there and what she just said there. Jamie, just to you, and I guess to Kenya as well, she says, oh gosh, I wish I would have started when I was in 5th and 6th grade. But natural talent right here?
Natural talent.
And that's what I want to get at. Some ladies and some kids have natural talent.
And you never know.
And you never know. She says she wished she would have probably started in 6th grade. Yeah, okay. But obviously she's an awesome volleyball player already in year 1. So, and they're shaking their head, yes.
And David, you bring up a great point there. We have so much talent at the high school.
Oh my gosh.
And the kids, they just don't think they have talent because they're out of shape, and those factors. Or the PlayStation, Xbox is more important than being active. But a lot of those kids could be such great athletes, and it's plumb a shame. When I was a kid, I ran track and cross country, and you probably wouldn't think I would be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. And I tell you, by the time I was in my senior year, I had colleges calling, sending letters and everything, and even though I didn't get a full ride and go, but I still get a little upset about that. So if you ever get a chance to go anywhere, you take it, no matter what the college is. If it's not a Division II, who cares? Go get that education.
At a small school.
Right. Go get that education. That's what's the most important thing. And if you're a football player, guess what? There's been plenty of those football players.
Division III guys, I'm telling you,
are
in the NFL right now.
Yep. So it can happen.
Yeah.
The girl, it is such what I want to bring to the table, more than talent, more than what I can teach them as an athlete or a volleyball player, is a sense of community. I'm with you. Riley will tell you, I run those 3 miles with you, and if you're falling behind, I run back with another player, and we're taking you with us, and we're not leaving you behind. So
that's what's great about it. Like the things that we do, and even Coach Kenya, like they do it with us, and that especially brings everybody together to show you that it isn't just you. Like you're not, because I know from playing sports recently, you could feel like you're being forced to do this, but especially whenever you have the coaches with you and everybody's together like this, it makes it like it's equal, you know.
Well, your team becomes your family.
Family. Yeah.
So here, to me, it's one team, one dream, one team, all the way.
Yeah.
So we obviously couldn't bring the whole team in tonight.
Right.
Could you share the names of your team?
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
here
both,
we-
if you can remember.
On the spot. Okay.
On the
Ready?
spot.
So
Yeah.
let's all
Yeah.
work together on this one.
So we have Riley.
We have Riley. We have
Okay.
other Riley. We have Ajaya, Raven, JD, Reagan, Eve. One more.
Oh, on that older team.
Yeah. Who is it? Jeez, guys, put us on the spot. They're gonna get on to us tomorrow.
Well, that's all right. We'll let you come back. Oh, there you go. Look at there.
Was that 8?
It was 8.
Speaking of team.
Kenzie. Oh my gosh, Kenzie, I love you. If you're on there. I promise I didn't forget you. Okay, so we have Eve, Riley, JD, Reagan, other Riley, Raven, Ajaya, and Kenzie. We love you. Then for Green Wave 14U, actually 15U, we bumped up officially. Kinley, Riley, Destiny, Jenna, Chloe, Addison, Sade, Mackenzie, Cassidy, and Kaylee.
And you know what's so funny? I know all these girls. I know a lot of these girls.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you started naming names and I'm thinking, oh, I know that one, that one, that one, that one. And you know what I'm saying? It's just so
Right.
crazy how other sports, you get to know all these girls.
Right.
And it's, I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. A couple of quick comments here. Cheryl Starr said, Green Wave is an excellent name for a Florida team. We are full of beautiful tropical plants and we are environmentally friendly. Support your local green.
That's exactly what we were thinking.
Why didn't you, she said, why didn't you say that to begin with?
Oh, yeah,
Have to write that one down.
She says, do not ask Jamie to walk and chew gum. She's laughing her tail off. But play volleyball, look out. Okay, there you go.
Wow.
Anyway, guys, glad to have you on. Stick around with us. We just got a couple little things we want to do. We're going to get a weather report, and then we're going to close the show down. Again, thank you for joining us, Dave. We're just going to go straight into it. I want all y'all guys, and even the people that are on, I want you to think about something. You know what our great nation's been going through the last 4 years. Remember I talked about history a little bit. Tearing down monuments and different things that Martin Luther King Jr., I guarantee, would never stand for. You know what I mean? If you erase history, you tend to repeat it. And you can see that things are going that way right now. We need to figure out a way to stop the bleeding, as I would like to say. Now, I want to give you a scenario. We just had a great interview, and I don't want to bring it down. But I want you to think about something. And I've said this, Dave, I think when me and you started 3 years ago, just before Mitchell and Michael was a part, I want you to think about something. These things right here are everybody's best friend. And I'm going to tell you right now, hey, I've gotten so used to mine, I can tell you right now, it'd be hard for me to live without this thing. You do everything on it. But I want to leave you with something tonight and think about, and you can answer on our page, as Michael said. Give it the Gmail address again, Mike.
Sure, it's on the spot, 32091@gmail.com.
So there you go. Ladies, I'll let you think about this too and ponder this over your mind. I want you to take a scenario. What if the United States power grid went down for 1 full year? Just 1 full year. What do you think would happen to this great nation? First and foremost, the military would have to come in here and try to keep peace.
Yeah, it'd be martial law.
It'd be martial law here.
Right.
The first responders, how are you going to get a hold of them? Pony Express?
Okay.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? I want you to think about,
For the
speaking of Pony Express, I rode with them. I know.
Well, for the fire department, it'd probably be smoke signals, but that's another story.
That's another story. But think about if the power grid shut down for 1 year.
Thank God my dad knows his way all the way down to I-75 because I'll be going back home.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. We all rely on this for everyday use, whether it's for a map, whether it's to get a hold of somebody or whatever. Could you, and if you had to, What about your food supply? Where are you getting your food from?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Can you live off the land? Can you do the things that it took back in the 1800s that our grandparents used to do to get by? I just wanted to let people think about that reality for a second, because right now, the way that this country's heading and the way that everything is going, that could definitely, possibly happen. And there is no doubt in my mind about that.
There's a show on that very same subject.
Yep.
And 2 weeks,
Yep.
it was chaos.
It was chaos.
Yeah, definitely.
Because do you know
2
what would
weeks.
happen? Exactly, David. You know what happened? Okay, first and foremost, if you live in a big inner city, Philadelphia, Chicago, Houston, LA, New York, you're going to salvage and pillage there first, right?
Yeah,
So what happens when you run out of supplies there? Where are you coming to next? Now you're starting to come into the rural areas, which is our area. And guess what? We're already fending for ourselves, but as these gangs and people are going to be in gangs, different. They're going to overtake you by number.
We'll be the green wave.
We'll be the green wave. Yeah, we can settle down and be the green wave. But I'm just talking internally. I'm not even talking about anybody, another country externally taking us over. I'm just talking about a failed power grid for 1 year. We can't fix it for 1 year, David. This would be mass chaos.
It would never get fixed.
It probably would. Because of the chaos.
Back to the early
They call them
1800s.
smartphones. They're making us dumb. How many people could actually look at a map?
Correct.
Know how to use it?
Right.
We talked about this the other day. Do you remember when you used to be able to go to a service station or a corner Jiffy Mart or whatever and buy a map of every state or an atlas? You can't find any anymore. Why? Just Google it, man. It's easier that way.
Actually, believe it or not, I walked in the gas station.
Did you
over
find
in
one?
St. Augustine, and they actually had maps.
A state of Florida map.
Yes.
Oh my God!
And
really?
you could buy the whole.
You should have
road
grabbed
atlas.
that thing, man. We'll put that in a relic somewhere, man. I mean, God, Jim.
So they still have them in some places, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not
St.
very
Augustine's
common.
one of the oldest cities in the country, so it's got to have maps.
And Cheryl Starr said right here, and there's some comments that are coming in. Definitely we'll post them, and please post them on our page. But I just wanted you to think and put reality in your head, because right now, I don't know who's running this country, and I don't want to get in political with you ladies. And, I'm just saying that this country is headed in the wrong direction right now, and we need to figure out a way to center this back and get this country back in the right way. 3 years ago, this country was running like it should have been. And I'm going to just leave it at that. The other thing I want to talk about, and I just want to leave it at that, and the other thing I want to talk about, Michael.
Sir.
What's the population of the United States of America?
I hate it when you put me
On the spot. Yeah.
I thought you would have that on the top of your head.
I normally.
350 mil.
Man, you're close. 332 mil.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
That was my next guess.
All right, 950,073, but who's counting? All right. So, David Rodgers has got a plan.
All right.
Yeah. And
what's
it's
that?
called, Byron talks about it a little bit, I call it the quarter plan.
Okay.
So, I know there's babies, numbers continuing in that, but the parents could cover the quarter. If everybody donated a quarter every week, do you know what we would get every week? Liz, anybody? You take a guess.
A quarter?
$83,228,768.
Wow.
Times that times 4, that's $332,915,073. Per year, if you multiply that times 12, it's $3,994,980 per year. Do you know what we could do with that?
Wipe out our deficit.
We could start by wiping
About
our
10
deficit,
years?
but how about the things that we need to get done? Building a big shelter, Dave, for the veterans of the United States of America. Sure. Or food programs. You know the problem, ladies? Michael and Mitchell, you know what the problem is? Nobody wants to do it. Do you know why? Because nobody trusts anybody with that money. if we collected that money and started something right away, Mitchell,
Right.
in other words, collect it, let's say we're doing something, I think people would buy in. But when you collect that money and then you don't hear anything for years or months or years or whatever, people's going to say, why am I donating a quarter? Just a quarter for every person here. You see the dollars that we would be, again, like Mitchell said, either paying off the deficit or building some infrastructure for the homeless or the vets or doing just whatever we need to do. But somebody that's honest has got to be in charge of that and show the American people, Michael, that we are doing something with that money.
Here's the thing about it. You don't have to donate that quarter.
Oh.
You need to vote in people that will give us proper tax relief and proper tax management, because we're already paying much more than that.
Right.
As we move forward.
Right, and you're right through the taxes, but and like you said, where are the taxes going? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I mean, it could be going everywhere as far as I know. When we know that it's going to fund this or fund that we didn't even vote for, of course.
Oh, exactly.
But if Michael Heater was in charge of this right here and says, I'm going to take everybody's quarter each and every week, and I'm going to invest, and I'm going to show you where it's going to, I guarantee you, people would buy it.
Probably.
All right, guys, just something to leave you with right there. Again, I want to thank Jamie, Kenya, and Riley for joining us. All the girls on this Green Wave team, we wish you nothing but luck. Next game is where, Jamie? We forgot to ask that.
Tallahassee next weekend.
Tallahassee next weekend, so you get
The
two.
29th through the 30th.
Okay, so it's a 2-day tournament. All right, we wish you ladies well. Bring home some more first and second place trophies.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We want all those. All right, Michael, give us a final weather report and we're going to call it a night.
All right, sounds great. So real quick here, the big news of the night, of course, is going to be the frost advisory that's going to be in effect starting at 3 a.m., running until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. The other big news, of course, is the pollen. Let's take a look at some pollen numbers real quick, and I'll show you what we're talking about with that. You're looking at numbers skyrocketing literally on Wednesday, starting to level off as we go in towards the weekend. But yes, pine and some of the grasses is going to give you a fit if you have allergies and that sort of thing to work with. Regionally, it's looking pretty decent as we move across the board here, but there is a frontal boundary that's stretching from from Nashville down to Pascagoula. That's going to be making its way towards us. Some of the coldest air of the season will be arriving next Sunday into Monday. We could see temperatures in the 20s across the region. And as Mitchell alluded to earlier, there's a chance of snow flurries this weekend, but I don't think it's going to make it this far south. Lake City, you're on the cusp. Wouldn't be terribly shocked to see snow flurries. The further north and west you go, better chance of some snow flurries, even some accumulations as you get into southern Georgia, moving more towards Alabama. Locally for us, after the frost advisory expires out, it's going to be beautiful conditions on Wednesday. Some clouds moving into the area on Thursday with a chance of rain on Friday, but temperatures are going to be moderating quickly, highs in the 70s. It's going to be very comfortable for your January, and especially for Wednesday, get out and enjoy it because it's really going to be nice after the warm-up hits tomorrow midday.
Michael, thank you for that great weather report. Just a couple of comments. You want to see who cares about these girls? Attend a game and watch the emotions from these coaches. Yes. That's when you know it's not just about volleyball, but molding these girls to have great character. And that's what these ladies are doing right here. Exactly. Tracy Key O'Neill says, struggle for most, very few will be able to survive. Yes, David, you're right. We are already in a severe cat food crisis. Okay. All right. Roy Jackson says Biden would take care of it, David. Lots of ladies already taking care of it. But anyway, I won't go there.
Yeah.
Can the younger generation read a map? Hey, I'll ask you. Let me ask you, can you read a map if you had to? If you can. Okay, so that's great right there. That's because you learned something in school. How about you there, Jamie? Can you read a map?
Absolutely. Do I like to? No.
Okay, but you could. You'd rather use this.
Absolutely.
Okay. Riley, could you read a map if you had to? See? Okay. So, hey, Tracy, we may have to go to another one on that one. Miss Bagwell says good night to everybody. We're going to wrap up the show on behalf of Michael Heater filling in for the Byron Bagwell, our producer, Dave Holland, our local guru, Mitchell Gunner. I am your host, David Rodgers. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank our guest, Jamie Seeger. Kenya Arnett and Riley Holland for joining us. The Greenway. Make sure you get out there and watch these girls play. Tallahassee. When? January 29th and 30th. Be there or be square. God bless you guys. Have a great night.